Okay, video welcome once again. And, so glad to have you with us. Mr. Abdullahi, good morning. Thanks for joining. So what we have for you today is pretty simple. We just want to walk you through our retail solution, right? So I hope everyone can hear me. And someone, at least one person in the audience, just signify they can hear me, please.
Yes, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
All right. So just to give you a brief information about info about who we are as a company. So, Google Realty is the name of our company, and we're a multinational conglomerate company here in Lagos. Our focus is majorly on IT cloud solutions, and we also operate in the electrical power system sector. Our services circles around IT cloud solutions, software design and development, operations and business support systems, DevOps automation, workplace implementation with M365, data science, ML and AI, and then insurance automation. And that is as it relates to our tech services. So in the power system sector, we have all other devices such as motor control starters, isolator breakers, automatic street lighting control, and others. But we're not going to be focusing on that today. The agenda for our webinar is pretty simple. Introduction into who we are, like I just did. We're a tech company incorporated in 2015, and we're very big on IT cloud solutions. And the introduction to the webinar, which has also been briefly done. And then we'll move forward to our retail application presentation proper. And also, we're taking some questions from the audience, if there are any, and we hope you engage us throughout the session. At any point in time when we're presenting, if you have any question regarding the application, please feel free to ask, and we're more than happy to address it. And then we can have our closing remark as the final agenda. So not to waste any of our time, the presentation will be for about 30 minutes or less, because we hope to close the session before, just to at least engage you, the audience. So again, during the presentation, if you have, if you're unclear about anything, or if you need to air an opinion, please do so, and I will gladly take that opinion. So let us move to the application proper. So brief information about the application you're about to see. It's a retail solution, and it helps. It has been designed for startups and small-scale businesses to streamline their operations, do sales, capture how much you're spending on a particular how much they are incurring in terms of expense, and also how much they're making. If I log into the application now, and just to make sure, the interface you're about to see is the admin interface. So, okay. So for small businesses who have been operating either manually or using a solution that has not been able to cater to their problems, we want to assure you that Supreme is the solution to that. So to reel our audience into our presentation, it's going to be in form of a story mode. So my name is Kunle, and I operate a retail business here in Lagos. Some of the products we sell ranges from toiletries, hair cream, and other major retail products out there. And while I was operating a manual method of tracking sales and doing inventory, I came across Supreme application. And I'm excited for you guys to try it because it has been able to help me to streamline the way I work. Now, the first thing I did when setting up my business on Supreme is to just go to settings and preferences. And then I set up the name of my business. So the name of my business is Exquisite Retail. So let me just spell that for you. And that is the name of our business. We operate here in Lagos, in Lekki, and we charge about 7.5% in standard VAT. And here's our hotline. I just save that real quick. Once that has been saved, then I can go to my dashboard. So the dashboard has allowed me to see the total amount I'm making in terms of revenue, expenses that have incurred in my business, total amount of supplies that I've made to either my warehouse or my outlet, and also my customers. And as well, I am also able to track the amount of orders that are coming in. Also on the dashboard, there's a chart that allows me to depict every of the feature I click here. So either I click on expenses, the chart gives me a visual representation of that. And if I click on revenue, I can also see that, and then supply. Also on the dashboard, I am able to see the total number of my clients, which client is owing me money, and which one has completed their payment. Because as a business, that is all I want to see. I want to know if I'm making money or if I'm not making money, really. Also, the dashboard also allows me to track my recent orders. And what this means is that if my warehouse needs to resupply on any of our products, the dashboard allows me to see that. And also, if our outlet has been low on stock and there's a supply request from our outlet, so the recent orders here on the dashboard allows me to see that as well. So now that we have an idea of what our dashboard looks like, the next thing I did to set up my business is to set up my outlets. Like I mentioned, we operate in Lagos. And to do that, I just go to Lagos to settings, and I go to outlets, and I set up my outlets proper. And to do that, it's just by clicking on the outlet settings here. I click on outlet settings, and then I add an outlet. Because I've already added Lekki branch, I do not want to create that outlet again. So I can easily just add the name of my outlet, the address, and select the state where my outlet is. And also to set up my warehouse, because we have a central store regard as our warehouse. To do that, I can just set up a warehouse in warehouse settings and then add a warehouse now. And I set up the address of my warehouse. So let's say Exquisite Lekki, Lagos. And then I select Lagos. So that's where has been created. Simple, right? The next thing I also did in setting up my business is to create my inventory items. So after I rented out a warehouse, I want to ensure that I have some items in there in my inventory. And to do that, I can just go to inventory management, inventory category, and then I set up my inventory category. So as a retail business, we sell cleanser, cream, exfoliator, face oil, facials, and natural remedy. Another item we sell in our inventory is say interior decorations. So I can just go to my art category and say decors. And then I add a description if I so wish. And then I save that real quick. So once that category has been created, I now need to populate specific items in my inventory. To do that, I just go to my product item, and I can add an item proper. So one of the items we have under decor is a vase, because people always want to beautify their homes, and we sell vase. To add that, I just create vase. It says size 6 now, and then I add that to my category, which is decors. I can add a description if I want, or if not, I could decide to just not add one. So because we want to measure our reorder level and to know when to just place the supply to our vendors for when they need to supply us more VAS after we're low on stock. So I can say when we have 20 items left in stock, we want to be able to resupply. And at the moment, VAS is a luxury item. So we at the moment, some of our size 6 VASs, we buy them for 40,000 naira and we sell them for 45,000, leaving us with a profit of 5,000 naira. And I save that real quick, and that will get to be populated in our items inventory. So the next on the sub module is our items inventory. And as the admin, I have the ability to see every inventory item that I have in my chain of business. So whether it be warehouse 1, that is in Abuja, or warehouse 2 in Wuse, Abuja, or warehouse 3, or warehouse 7 that we have just created in the heart of Lekki, I can see all the items I have in my warehouse, as well as my outlets, such as Banex, Cairo, Calabar, and Lekki. So this is warehouse 7 that we have just created, and I can see all the list of my inventory items. So I can see Soulmate, I can see VAS 6, and I can see Shea Butter. And also, you can see that the items, each of the items are blinking red. And that means that we do not have any items left in our inventory. So the system notifies me if I'm low on stock, so I can quickly re-up my supply level. Also in my inventory, I can see my total number of inventory and my average inventory, just to ensure that I be able to capture, I have a 360-degree view of my operations. So now we've set up our business, we've set up our inventory, and our stores are not just going to run themselves. So I need to onboard a staff member to work in my warehouse. And to do that, what I need to do is just go to staff, and then I add a staff member. So I can see David on the call. So let's assume I'm fortunate enough to employ David as one of my staff members. So I can just say, David, one sec. If I wish I could add a surname. So David has a phone number. I can just add a phone number there. An email address, which is optional, and then I can tag David to any of my outlets. So either my outlet or my warehouse. So David works in my warehouse as the warehouse manager. So I can just add David to warehouse 7, that is in Lagos. And then I save that information. David has been onboarded as a staff, and now David can log into his own interface and then begin his operations proper. And also, now that we've set up our business, we've set up our inventory, we've set up our staff, the next thing to do is to add item into our inventory, just like it was blinking red before. And what I need to do is to just go to supply transfer or stock transfer now, and then I create a transfer to my warehouse. So I select, the system automatically generates a date and then a supply ID. And the next thing I need to do is just select which particular store my supply is going. So I save that, and then I go and select product that I need to supply. So let's say we're supplying VAS, and the quantity is 40 that we're supplying now. So the amount is automatically generated, and then I add a product and complete the entry. So now, quick question. Do you have anyone on the call who own a business, for example? And so if there's no comment from the audience, let me just continue. One sec. Okay. So now that we made a supply to our warehouse at Lekki, to see that particular item in our warehouse, I just go to inventory management, and I select items inventory. Sorry, warehouse 7 now, not Lekki. One sec. warehouse 7. Okay, so as you can see, I've just recently supplied verse 6, a total number of 40 units to our inventory. So once that has been done, the next thing to do is to create an account for my business. So the system already allows me to track all my income via sales. But as a business, we incur some costs on the operations of our business. So the accounting tab here has allowed us to be able to capture that very well. And the first thing I did was to set up an account type. Create an account, and then I create a parent account. So at the moment, I've already created an expense account as a parent account, so I don't want to create that again. So as you can see, you have expense account here on our screen. And also, if I go to my chart of account, this allows me to create specific ledgers for my business at which I incur expenses at. So we incur expense on fuel, loading of items for our drivers to go supply either our warehouse or our outlets or our clients also. We also incur cost on logistics, office expenses, shipments, and waste. So if there's another cost center in our business, say utility, I can easily just create that by adding an account, utility. Then I add a description if I want, and I tag it to my expense account. So I know that all these NEPA people that just brings a bill at the end of the month, I'm able to track that against my utility. Is someone making a comment? Okay. After my account has been set up, and I can go to just expenses and then track each particular expense that has been incurred in all my business centers. So either my headquarters, a warehouse, or our outlets now. And to add an expense, I just need to select an expense, add expense, and then I track it under a specific ledger. So NEPA has just recently given us a bill, and I need to track that money. So I just say utility amount, 20,000. Then I add the comments if I want. And then I save. So the system immediately tracks that. And also there's an audit trail for businesses who want to be able to ensure that they know who exactly is performing which action. So the expense account the expense I just created, which is utility, because I'm operating from the admin side of things, I can see that that expense was created by an admin. So if your staff member creates an expense, you're tracking, let's say it's David who has created an expense. So I can track that particular expense to David. So now that we've done all that, set up our business, we've set up our inventory, we set up our supply, we've done accounting, and then we can track sales and clients now. So at the moment, we have some clients who buy from us in bulk. So let's say Peace is one of our major customers and she buys from us in bulk. And we need to be able to track our history of sales. So I just go to add accounts, I add Peace as a customer, as a client. Our phone number is let me just use a dummy phone number. Our address, let me just put the wrong address. For the purpose of the presentation, I'm not putting a correct address. And then I register Peace to a particular warehouse that she buys from, that she buys our products from us from. So let's say she buys from warehouse 7 now, and then I save. So Peace has been added to the system, and whenever Peace needs to buy from us, someone who is operating in warehouse 7, which is David now, can easily just sell to Peace. So once that has been done, I can also see all the history of sales or supply history that Peace has made from us in the past. And I need to mention that this application works via web. So for those who run businesses in any part of the world, say you have a business in Nigeria and you're in the diaspora, for instance. So the application allows you to track everything that is going on within your business from anywhere you are in the world. Once you set up your application, you've onboarded your staff, you have a supply ready, and you have your clients populated in the system. So as you're making sales, incurring expense from anywhere you are in the world, the application allows you to track all the operations properly to ensure that you don't have any bottlenecks or discrepancies in your business, really. And also, let's say we've made a sale now and want to track where our sales are. So I can just go to sales and I can see the amount of sales that have been made either today, yesterday, or if I want, I can filter by either a month, last month, this year, or I can also customize it to any particular date that I want. Now, we have recently made a supply to Peace, for example, or to any of our major clients, and they're making payments in bits. So you want to be able to, I'm sure you want to ask, oh, how do we ensure that we track every payment that all our suppliers or our clients are paying? So what you need to do is to just go to supply clients. After a supply has been created, you're going to see the payment date for each of that particular client. So let's say Peace, for example, now wants to take a supply of maybe 20 batch of bath, and she says, oh, yeah, I don't have money now. I want to be able to pay in the next 20 days after I've completed my sales. The system allows us to capture that. And to do that, I go to clients and say Peace, for example. I edit. So you can see our payment span here. So if she wants to make a payment in 20 days, I can just set our payment time to be 20 days. And then I say. So anytime we make a supply to Peace, she's expected to have made payments within the space of 20 days. So if I create a supply now, and then I select customer Peace, and I go and initiate a supply to her. Select product, say VAS, quantity 20. So because Peace is buying in bulk, she might want to negotiate and say, oh, me, I'm not buying for 45,000 naira. I can only buy for 44,000 because I am also selling to other people, right? So while we have set up 45,000 as the cost price, but because Peace is buying in bulk, we want to negotiate and say, I'm selling in units now and I need to make profit. So we can easily just allow us negotiate with her. And after we've agreed on a particular price that works with us, we can then sell at 44,000 to Peace and add that product, right? So after the product has been added, that is 44 units, 44,000 naira of 20 units, which is about 880K that Peace will be owing us. Please pay us on time, Moabeg. Don't owe us money, please. So I complete that entry, and the system captures that particular supply. And as you can see, she has 19 days left to pay us. So I'm sure you're asking, what if Peace has taken a supply and she says, oh, I want to pay 50,000 naira immediately? So what the system does is that you can just track every payment here by clicking on this option, and then say payments. And so as you can see, Peace is owing us a total of 880,000, and she has not made any payments yet. So what if she wants to make a payment of about 100,000 now? All I need to do is to just say add payments, and then add 100,000 against our supply order. And she's paying 100,000 now. I just proceed, and the system captures that Peace has paid 100,000. Pardon me, I imputed 10,000, but you get the idea. So from 880,000, Peace has paid 10,000, and a balance due is 870,000. And the system has also captured that here as a history. So I can choose to edit that information or delete it if I want. And also, because Peace has already we made a supply to, we want to make a supply to Peace now. So the system has a waybill feature that allows you to create a waybill, driver's name, say Ola is the one delivering our goods, driver's phone number, and then I proceed. And this is to allow you to create a document that you can give to your driver who will be transporting all your items either from your warehouse to the client site, so that you don't want to have any problem with supply in case police stops your driver now and they ask them, what are you even transporting? So you can easily just give them the waybill and track the particular supply. So to create a waybill, you just need to select any of the recent order that we have in the system. Created an order going to Peace. And this is it here, Peace. So I select this particular order, and then I create a waybill. So once that waybill has been generated, and this is it now, VAS of 6 quantities, decors 20 units. And I can just sign as the admin or have someone in my company sign, and then I give it to my driver to go and deliver. And that's all about creating a supply, the inventory, the business setup, setting up your accounts, and your clients and staff. So if you need to track your sales now, all you just need to do is to go to sales, and then you see the amount you have made, either today, which is the 26th of March, sorry, 27th now. Or any other day that you want. So as you can see, we've recently made a sale of 880,000 to Peace from the headquarters. So if I need to see more information, I just have to click this particular button here, and I can see specifics. And if not, I can just go back, click on sales, and then the system allows me to see the total number of sales that I have made and my profit. So I've recently made a sale of 1,170,000, and I have a profit of 170,000 naira. That way I know if my business is making profit or not, and how much am I exactly making in profit. And that's all about tracking your sales. And you can also track that per specific business center. So you can track by warehouse, track by outlets, and you can also filter. So how much have we made this year? And the system gives you all that information. These are all the sales we made in Calabar, warehouse 2, warehouse 1, and the HQ. And that's all about Supreme for the admin side of things. Now, just to give you a little bit of idea of what your staff members will be doing. So to log in into your staff members' account, you might not have access to it because they would need to change their password immediately they log in. But as an admin, you can see their sales figures and how they're doing in terms of operations. So to log in into the warehouse that we just created, that David is currently manning. So I just locate warehouse 7 on the system. And this is warehouse 7 here. And the username is expected to serve as the username is expected to serve as their login credential. And then they have a specific password, which I will not be divulging, to log into their account. So if I log into one of our warehouse now, so here I am. David is the staff member at our warehouse, and David has all the things he has access to. So he doesn't have access to everything in the application because he's a staff. But the business owner from the admin side of things has access to all the features the application offers. So from dashboard to inventory, and now David can see the specific items in his own warehouse. So he won't be able to see the items in inventory for another warehouse. And just like we have supplied 40 units of VAS 6 to David's warehouse, you can see that here in the screen. But because we don't have any item for Soulmate and shea butter, David will need to make a supply request to have that populated. And David can also see the cost of inventory and the average cost of his own inventory as well. David can also create supply to any of our warehouse, to any of our outlets, our clients, a waybill, and he can also make a supply request. And also, David can make a sale to any of our walk-in customers. And to do that, David can just create a sale, select the buyer's name. Let's say the buyer's name is Peace. Peace is our loyal customer, so we like to sell to Peace a lot. If he wants, he could decide to add a phone number or not. It's optional. And then he can save. And then immediately select a product that he wants to sell. So as you can see, we do not have any item here in shea butter. So shea butter is out of stock, but we have 40 units of busness at 45,000, and we can decide to sell any quantity we want. Select save, and then we complete that sale proper. So that's it. David has made a sale. You can see it's very simple. You don't have to do too many clicks to make a sale. Just one click, and you're done. And David could also see all the amount of clients he has in his own warehouse. So Peace is one client that we have added to David's warehouse now, and you can track that. And also say David has also incurred some expense in the operations of the warehouse. David can also add an expense, select a ledger. Let's say, since it's a warehouse, it needs to make supply to Peace, for example. So logistics now. And how much are we spending on logistics? If it is 20,000 naira, you have to comment supply to Madam Peace. Then he saves that particular expense. So the admin or he himself who works in the warehouse knows that he has incurred an expense of 20,000 naira for logistics, and that is an expense. So that's all about the capturing the operations of the warehouse. And yeah, basically that will be all for our presentation on Supreme. So happy to take questions now if we have any from the audience. Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. Abimbola. So I'm obliged to call out names, so I just thought I could engage you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
I'm with you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Only that I'm at work. That's why I'm just silent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Perfectly understand.
Thank you.
And Mr. Abdullahi, can you also hear us? I see you're on mute. Would you like to say something? Okay. So if there are no questions from our audience, I would like to give the closing remark now. Thank you so much for joining. We really, really appreciate your time. Mr. Ekuna, are you saying something? Okay.
No, Abolore, no, go ahead, please.
Okay. All right, so that's all about our Supreme Retail application to have designed to help startups and small scale businesses to manage their operations from anywhere in the world. If you're a retailer, you're a wholesaler, you're a distributor, you work in the manufacturing sector or any other specific sector that has to do with sales, Supreme is definitely designed for you. If you need more information from our audience now, if you need more information about who we are, the name of our company is Google Royalty Limited. We are situated at Okpedi, Ikeja. And we'll be leaving some more information about who we are in the comment section, right? So should you need to follow up, we're more than happy to attend to any questions you might have. And this is not the only thing we do. Like I mentioned during our introduction, we're a software development company. So we're an IT cloud solutions company, and we also operate in the power system sector. So our expertise is not just tied to building one single application alone. We build several business applications and also help businesses to move from manual way of working to more digitalized way of working. So thank you so much for your time, and see you in the next one.
Thank you.